Have you ever wondered about a story so powerful it is mentioned in the Qur'an as a sign for all of humanity? A story of faith, courage, and a miracle that defies time itself. Today, we read diving deep into one of the most captivating narratives from the Qur'an, the story of Ashab Al-Kahf, the people of the cave. This isn't just a tale from the past. It's a profound lesson that echoes through the ages, especially in our modern world. So, grab your cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's journey back in time together to uncover the secrets of the youths who slept for over 300 years. Our story begins in a city ruled by a tyrannical king, a man who demanded his people worship idols instead of the one true God, Allah. In the midst of this oppression, a small group of young men held firm to their belief in monotheism. They saw the falsehood around them, and their hearts were filled with pure faith. They were not prophets or kings. They were ordinary youths, just like many of us. But their conviction was extraordinary. They would meet in secret, encouraging one another and strengthening their resolve to worship Allah alone. The pressure from the king and his society became immense. These young men faced a critical choice: compromise their faith and conform, or stand up for what they believed in, even if it meant facing the king's wrath. They knew that openly declaring their faith would likely lead to persecution, or worse. In a moment of quiet desperation and immense trust in Allah, they made a decision that would change their destiny forever. They chose to flee, to leave behind their homes, their families, and everything they knew. In their supplication to Allah, they prayed, "Our Lord, grant us from yourself mercy and prepare for us from our affair right guidance." It's a beautiful, simple prayer, yet it's filled with so much meaning. They weren't asking for wealth or power. They were asking for mercy and guidance. And Allah, in His infinite wisdom and mercy, answered their call. He guided them to a secluded cave, a refuge from the storm of disbelief raging outside. They entered the cave, not knowing what the future held, but with their hearts full of trust in their Lord. Once inside, a profound miracle began to unfold. Allah cast a deep sleep upon them. This wasn't just a normal nap. It was a state of suspended animation, a divine intervention to protect them. The Quran describes how Allah took care of every detail. He made the sun, when it rose, to decline from their cave to the right, and when it set, to pass them on the left, so they were never harmed by its direct heat. And He turned them on their right and left sides to protect their bodies from decay. Can you imagine this level of divine care? It's a powerful reminder that when you put your trust in Allah, He takes care of you in ways you can't even comprehend. Outside the cave, the world moved on. Seasons changed, generations came and went, empires rose and fell. The tyrant king and his entire civilization faded into history. But inside the cave, time stood still for these faithful youths. They slept, and they slept, and they slept. The Quran tells us they remained in their cave for 309 years. For over 3 centuries, they were completely shielded from the world, preserved by the will of Allah. With them was their loyal dog, who lay at the entrance, stretching its forelegs, also in a state of sleep. Its presence was a sign, a guard, and a companion in this miraculous slumber. Then, after all this time had passed, Allah willed for them to awaken. Imagine that moment. You go to sleep for what feels like a single night, and you wake up 300 years later. As they awoke, they started asking each other, "How long have we been here?" One of them said, "Perhaps a day, or part of a day." They had no idea of the incredible miracle they had just lived through. Feeling hungry, they decided to send one of their members, with the silver coins they had, back into the city to secretly buy some pure food. They were still cautious, thinking the old tyrant king was still in power and that they had to hide their faith. The youth chosen for the task carefully made his way into the city. But what he saw left him utterly bewildered. Everything had changed. The buildings, the people's clothing, the way they spoke, it was a completely different world. He was a stranger in his own land. When he tried to pay for food with his ancient silver coins, the shopkeeper was stunned. The coin was a relic from a bygone era. News spread like wildfire, and soon the man was brought before the new ruler of the city. This is where the story takes another beautiful turn. The city was no longer a place of idol worship. Over the 300 years, the people had embraced the belief in one God. In fact, at that very time, there was a great debate in the land about the concept of resurrection. Some people were doubting whether it was possible for God to bring people back to life after death. And right at that moment of doubt, Allah revealed His sign. The awakening of the people of the cave was living proof of resurrection. It was a miracle for everyone to see. These men were a tangible sign that the one who could make them sleep for 300 years and awaken them could certainly resurrect all of humanity on the Day of Judgment. The people of the city, along with their righteous king, were overjoyed. They went to the cave and saw the youths, a living testament to Allah's power. The story of the sleepers became a source of immense faith and certainty for the entire community. After their purpose was fulfilled, after they had served as a clear sign from Allah, He caused them to pass away. Their story was complete. They had stood for their faith. Allah had protected them in a miraculous way, and He used their story to strengthen the faith of a future generation. So, what are the lessons for us today? First, the importance of holding on to our faith, even when it's difficult. These young men chose their connection with Allah over the comforts of the world. Second, the power of sincere prayer. They asked for mercy and guidance, and Allah gave them more than they could ever imagine. Third, the absolute and unwavering trust in Allah's plan. They stepped into that cave with pure reliance on Him, and He orchestrated their entire story beautifully. And finally, the story is a powerful reminder of Allah's omnipotence. It strengthens our belief in the afterlife and the day of resurrection. The story of the people of the cave, beautifully detailed in Surah Al-Kahf, which many Muslims recite every Friday, is not just a bedtime story. It's a blueprint for navigating the challenges of our own lives. It teaches us to prioritize our faith, to seek refuge in Allah from the storms of life, and to trust that His plan is always perfect, even when we can't see the full picture. He is the ultimate protector and the best of planners. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through one of the Quran's most profound stories. I hope it has inspired you as much as it inspires me every time I reflect on it. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more incredible stories and lessons from the Quran, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Let me know in the comments what you found most powerful about the story of the people of the cave. Until next time, stay curious and keep faith.